How has it affected you personally?
It affects me personally in future generations because what it is,
No, right now. I mean, since the law's been passed in the last year and a half, how has it affected you or anyone else personally?
I think it threatens the very foundation of our country. Now, Darla and I, our marriage is going to be fine, and our teaching to our children is going to be
But
fine.
in the last year and a half, how has it affected you? Or anyone else?
To me, it's the threat to future generations. I understand where you're going and what you're
Right.
saying.
Right.
It's not going to affect me personally. Marriage is for procreation, and that's why we rallied around marriage, because we want to develop a civilized society.
What about separation of
If we don't
church
check
and
them
state?
now, we're in trouble.
Well, first
have
of all,
seen
the
judges
separation
around
of
the
church and
nation
state has been
Say that
where
don't
people
ask
want to
the
use
hotel,
that
it's
to
not
say
in
that the
effect,
church
or
has no
Congress
voice.
couldn't
It was always to prevent
to a
the
decision
state,
about
the
it.
government, from
We
having
saw a
control
judge
of the
in
church.
California throw
It
out
was
the
never
will
to
of
silence the voice of the
7
church.
million people
Neither
when
the
they voted
government
for
matters.
constitutional amendment.
We have same-sex marriage. What's going to happen to future generations? There's not going to be any. How are you going to have babies with 2 women and 2 men?
I don't believe that'll happen.
Well,
It's going that way.
their ruling, and if it was on civil rights, they didn't go far enough. They wrote discrimination in their ruling. Because there's also a group out there that wants transgender. They want to have bisexual. They want to have, there's people out there who want polygamy to be there where I can marry 3, 4, 5 different women. There's groups out there that want to marry a man and a woman. So if we're going to leave it up to men to decide, or people to decide,
And women?
that's what I mean by, I'm saying collectively, women and men. If we're going to leave it up to them to decide, and if there's no bias, then they wrote discrimination in their own opinion.
Another thing to take note of here today, there wasn't many of us here, but God was here. Heaven and earth cannot contain him, he is so great. And also an innumerable company of angels whom we cannot see physically. They see us, what we are doing every day that we live. And I want to live in such a way that God would be glorified.
So are you opposed to gays and lesbians getting married?
Personally, yeah, I am. I don't think that the issue is should be centered around that. I think it's more the logistics of the actual law, constitution, the legalities of it, basically.
Are there other decisions that you think that the court sort of overstepped its bounds other than?
Not off the top of my head. Yeah, that's a good question though. So,
Yeah. Another way, how does allowing gays and lesbians to get married, how does that take away rights from you?
It takes away my sense of what is right and wrong.
Okay. How does it do that?
Because it forces me to accept what I know is, it forces me to accept as true what I know to be a lie.
So it doesn't really impact you at all?
No.
Was there anything in the court's decision that said that you personally had to believe that it was good?
No.
Standing off to my right who are with Wonk Room, and they are going to these, they following the bus, and everybody's free to do what they want to do. They're following the bus, they are getting, after they get done speaking, they are getting interviews with you, posting them up on Wonk Room on the internet, and mocking us and our position and our side. And so I'd caution you, this young lady right here this with the camera. And so I go ahead and interview them. I doubt that they're telling you that's what they're going to do with your interview. And so others are here. Ask them who they're with. The Hawkeyes here. I appreciate John. Appreciate Christine. They do a good job. And so I'm not telling you not to talk to anybody, but just so you know who you're talking to. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you, Representative King.
Thank you.